Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi there, Dolinda. Oh, there, Dolinda, you on here early today. How was your birthday there, Dolinda? I hope it was great. Hi, everybody. My name is Lakisha Colbert, and I am your certified life coach. And this is Success My Way Life Coaching with Lakisha. So, welcome to the channel. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe and look at all of the wonderful videos in the description or in the I don't know, the video part of the page. I have so many videos. So peruse the site, find some videos, some topics you like, and go ahead and watch those and then comment because I will definitely always get back to anybody who comments. So welcome to the channel. Today we are starting a new series talking about something very important to everybody, and that's wounds. So for the next 4 Saturdays, I am going to be talking about wounds. Okay. And the thing about it is like as humans, we all have wounds. I have wounds, everybody have wounds. But nobody talks about wounds. It's kind of like a faux pas to even have conversations about wounds. But we don't do that on Success My Way. Today, we're going to talk about these wounds. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes, we are. We're going to talk about these wounds because leaving something hidden does not get addressed. Leaving something under you or behind you or covered up does not address it. So I am going to work together with you to address these things we call wounds. All right, so today, as it said on the title, we're going to talk about the abandonment wound, which is the wound that I have. So I got some personal connection to this particular wound because I had that abandonment wound. And I said I have it, but it is not a gaping wound like it was before. I've done some work to close that wound and heal that wound. And so today we're going to talk about the wound and we're going to talk about how you can heal that wound. But first, I just want to remind everybody that Success My Way Academy is here. It is starting. We're starting our fall academy. And we are actually starting tomorrow. Today is like the last day to sign up. So if you want to sign up for Success My Way Academy, where I help you find your purpose, I help you get unstuck, I help you in your areas of your life. If you want to hop onto that, we are having a special, y'all. We're having an anniversary special of $300 for a 6-week experience with me. This is an experience on Zoom and it's videos and it's life work. It is a combination of a lot of things, and those are just a few things. So if you are interested in this particular cohort, because we're starting tomorrow, our first meeting is tomorrow, make sure you sign up. Or if you want to gift somebody Success My Way Academy today, let me know. Like y'all got to tell me today, get in contact with me. I'm on almost every social media platform. I'm on everything. I'm on Reddit, I'm on TikTok, I'm on LinkedIn. I got an email. Like y'all, if you want to get in contact with me, you can get in contact with me. If you want to put it in the chat, I'll make sure I'll get in contact with you. But this is it, the gauntlet. This is the last couple hours that I am allowing anybody to join because we almost have a full class. So make sure if you want to join Success My Way Academy, tell me now. Tell me now. Tell me now. All right. My tribe is coming in. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hi, Tanya. I'm so glad you're here. Good morning. Hi, Candace. Good morning. And Candace, I see you tomorrow. I have been preparing for you all, so I'm so excited. All right, so I hope you have your pen and paper because at Success My Way, I always say get your pen and paper out, dedicate a journal to this process. Dedicate a journal to this process. So every time you come on Success My Way and we do these talks, you can have your notes that you can go back to because I have all my oh, am I going the right way? Yeah. I love you. I got all my notes. I got all my notes so I can go back to them. And so I would like you to do the same thing. So before we get into healing abandonment wounds, let's talk about abandonment. Okay, can we have a real conversation? I'm just saying this is a real topic, and so we got to have a real conversation. Y'all ready? Oh, happy first day of October. This is my first day of October cup. Isn't it so? Happy first day of October, everybody. And it's somebody's birthday today. I think it's Diamond's birthday. I don't know if she's over here. Happy birthday, Diamond. Okay. So where does abandonment come from? Hi, Kimberly. Good morning. Where does abandonment come from, y'all? Where does it come from? Um, it comes from mainly from two things. It either comes from your childhood or it comes from something that happened to you as an adult. Okay. So it could be that you've had an abandonment experience as a child. Like a lot of us have had those things, especially if you grew up in a rough environment, in an unloving, cold environment. You probably experienced some abandonment issues. And then some people don't experience it in childhood, but they may experience it in adulthood where you felt abandoned by a spouse or by a friend or someone that you just really admired in your adulthood and they let you down to the point where you felt like you were abandoned by them. So that can happen too. Or and in the worst case scenario, you felt abandoned in your childhood and in your adulthood. And that's deep chronic abandonment issues when that happens. Um Abandonment is loss, is trauma. It affects you mentally and emotionally. And it shows up in different ways. So I'm here to enlighten you on the ways it shows up because a lot of people don't even know how it shows up. Like I didn't even know I had abandonment issues until I went to counseling myself. I knew something was wrong with my relationship with my husband, with how I thought about myself, but I didn't know exactly what it was. But through a licensed counselor, I was able to figure out that it was abandonment issues that were triggering my behavior at that time. And so I want to say that, like, if you have serious abandonment issues, I'm a life coach, but my job is to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. But if you are suffering from abandonment issues from your past, now that's the expertise of a therapist or a counselor. They go back in your past and help you uncover that so you can heal. All right. So that's the difference. I want to put that up there first. Um, because what I'm saying, I'm not a licensed therapist or counselor, but I am a life coach. So my job is to present you with this information in hopes that you will go and do with this information what you need to do. And so that's my role today. Okay. All right. And y'all better talk to me in the chat. Y'all know what I love. I love when y'all be talking to me in the chat and stuff. All right. So let's talk about the signs that you have abandonment issues because you may not even know that you have these issues. So let's talk about the signs that you have abandonment issues. Like I told you, I had abandonment issues. And they try to flare up, when something similar happens to me that happened to me before. They try to flare up, but I have done the work. I have done the work to be able to ward off those abandonment mental and emotional feelings and expectations. And so I'm hoping that you will do the work as well. Hi, Joan. Welcome. My tribe is here. Yeah. um, so abandonment issues, they stem from old fears and things that you learned as a child. As humans, whatever happened to us as a child, we actually hold on to those things and bring them into our adulthood. So if you see people who are having abandonment issues in adulthood, um, it may be because they brought them into their adulthood from their childhood. And I know through my personal counseling, I have successfully learned how to separate my childhood from my adulthood. I do not look at myself as a child. Now, my family may still look at me as a child, and your family may too. Your family tends to still look at you as if you're a child, even when you're adult, especially your older family members. But I'm not a child anymore. I am an adult. And I have learned to say, you know what? What happened to me as a child is not what has to continue to happen to me as an adult. I have agency as an adult. As a child, I had no control over the family I was born into. I had no control over that. I had no control over anything that happened to me as a child. I was so vulnerable. Y'all, children are extremely vulnerable. That's why you have to take childhood seriously. People don't take it seriously, but it affects people as adults what happens to them as a child. Okay. So I understand that as a child, I had no little agency, no or very little agency to what happened to me. What happened to me happened. However, once I became an adult, moved away from my family, started to develop my own family and get my own job, now I got agency. I have choice. I have the opportunity to choose my mental state, my emotional state, how I react to stuff. I get to choose to change my mindset about stuff. You are not powerless. That's what I want to tell you today. You are not powerless. A person with an abandonment issues feel powerless when it comes to um, relationships with other people and things like that. Let's see what else is joining. Joan says, "Oh, you're in the hospital? Okay, Joan. Oh my gosh, I hope you feel better. Oh, wow. I hope you feel better, Joan. I gotta call you. You're in the hospital, so I can call you. I can call you because you're in the hospital." Oh my gosh. All right. So here's some signs that you have abandonment issues, y'all. The first one is that you may have separation anxiety when it comes to like separating from your loved ones. I know I have this just being honest, I have this I travel a lot for my job and I really don't like separating from my family. And what I learned is that the point of departure is super hard for me. The point where I have to leave my house to go on a trip is very hard for me. And that is hard for people with abandonment issues. The point of departure. When someone says, I'm going away, if especially if like for example, if you're married to somebody in the military and they say I have to go away for months, you'll be okay after they leave, but the point that the day that they leave or right before they leave is very, you struggle with that. That's how you know you probably have abandonment issues. Also the point of reunion, the point where the person returns. How do you know you have abandonment issues? Because when you haven't seen somebody in a long time, right? What is the normal reaction? The normal reaction to not seeing somebody, for a long time is that you hug them, you kiss on them. That's a normal reaction. Not for a person with abandonment issues all the time. Sometimes a person with abandonment issues, they get mad when they see you. They curse you out. That's the first thing they do. They curse you out when they see you, or they're indifferent, or they're just nasty to you for no reason. It's like, dang, I ain't see you in 2 years. Why are you so mean to me? Because they have abandonment issues. I'm telling you, we getting deep. We getting deep. Okay. Let me know if you've experienced any of these signs from other people or you yourself have experienced these. And thank you, Candace, for putting in chat. Another sign that you have abandonment issues is that you are cold. It's hard for you to be vulnerable and emotional. You do things to keep people at a distance. One thing I learned as a life coach is that people who mess with people who are married, like people who are having affairs with married people, or people who have affairs with people who are already committed. They already the boyfriend or girlfriend of somebody else, and you prefer relationships where the person is not all the way available, that you got abandonment issues. You prefer the person to be at a distance so you won't get hurt. So I prefer a relationship with someone who is already committed to somebody else because that distance is there. That's from abandonment issues. So there are some people who prefer to be the chick on the side, and that's because they don't want to get super close and hurt, or be the man on the side. They don't want to get super, they want to go in, come out of that relationship any way they feel like it. That's that's from abandonment issues. Another sign you have abandonment issues is that you attach extremely hard to somebody who's cold. You attach yourself hard to somebody who does not care, seem to care. you know, um, there has been a lot of times where I've seen in relationships where one person is super attached and the other person is super distant. So it's like you're chasing the cold person all the time. So being attached to someone who's not attached back to you, like overly attached, is from an abandonment issue. It's from an abandonment issue, okay? Um, Another thing is um you like to please people. You're a people pleaser. You just want to do what everybody wants you to do, in hopes that they won't leave you. I'll do anything you want, even if I don't like it. I'm going to do it because I don't want you to leave me. So I'm just going to do it. Um, you move quickly right before getting too attached. You move quickly right before getting too attached. So you ever hear people that they like falling in love, but once they in love, they're like finished. Like when I was looking at the Richard Pryor story. Richard Pryor married so many people and then he divorced them real quick. Richard Pryor had abandonment issue. I remember him saying he married this lady. They had the wedding. And then as soon as the wedding was over, like an hour after the wedding was over, he was asking how could he divorce the lady. This Richard Pryor. He wanted to divorce her right after the wedding. He wanted to get out of it. He liked the chase. He liked chasing, and up to a certain point. After that, he was like, I'm done. The next one is next sign that you have abandonment issues is that you feel insecure and unworthy of love. You feel insecure and unworthy of the love of somebody else. So if you feel insecure, if you are self-sabotager, did I say that right? Self-saboteur. I think it's self-saboteur. If you are a self-saboteur of love for yourself, you may have abandonment issues, okay? Because you are not accepting the love because you are afraid that if you accept the love, this person is going to abandon you. So you like, you sabotage the relationship. You do something on purpose that's going to make the person not love you anymore. That's from abandonment issues. You are very sensitive to feedback. You are very sensitive to feedback. Somebody tell you something, you do something that you did something wrong, you harbor on it for days. Like I tell people, I eat the meat and throw away the bone. You can tell me anything you want. I am the master and the captain of me. So you can tell me anything you want, but I decide whether I'm going to hold on to what you said or let it go. But people with abandonment issues, they hold on to criticism. They hold on to feedback, especially if it's negative, and hold on to it for a long time. Okay. They can get jealous. They can work um they can work really hard to find out what somebody is hiding. So people who are obsessed with like digging deep about somebody, like something's wrong with them. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Why you figuring out? Something wrong with you too. Ain't nobody figuring you out. Something's wrong with you. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Thank you, Candace, for putting those in the chat for me. Um, if you have anger and control issues, I mean, anger and control issues are symptoms of a lot of different things, but this is also a symptom of abandonment. Like you're overly controlling. You don't want people to leave you. You don't want your kids to experience what you experience. You don't want your kids to feel abandoned. So you overly control your children. Okay. That's a sign of abandonment issues. And you blame yourself. You blame yourself about stuff that you shouldn't even be blaming yourself about. Hi, Marva. Welcome. You blame yourself about things that you shouldn't even be blaming yourself about. I mean, that's a sign or symptom that you have abandonment issues, that you feel woe is me about everything, even about things that you have no control over. And the last two things is like, you don't trust anybody. DTA, don't trust anybody. And you tell people, I don't trust easily. Abandonment issues. I don't trust easily. I'm going to stay over here in my distance, in my corner, because I don't really know you like that. That is how somebody with abandonment issues talks. And then the last one is that you're nitpicky and hard to please. You nitpicking on everything. You're hard to please. It's another way of sabotaging that relationship with that person. Just nitpick. Everything they do is wrong. Why is everything they do wrong? That's your way of making sure that that person doesn't hurt you. It's just another form of control that a person with abandonment issues may have. All right. So now I want to talk about triggers, because when you have abandonment issues, and I know this because this is my wound. This is my wound. When you have abandonment issues, things that happen to you in your life can remind you of the thing that you went through that caused you to feel abandoned. And that's what a trigger is. A trigger brings back something really deep that hurt you to the present. That's what a trigger is. A trigger brings something really deep from your past back up to the present. Okay. So people with abandonment issues will get triggered if they experience something that reminded them of the abandonment issue that they had. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of some things that may trigger your abandonment issues. Okay. So if somebody passes away, if somebody dies and passes away, woo, y'all, I've seen this happen time and time again. First of all, you have abandonment issues. Then somebody you love, care about, been in your life for a long time, passes away. And instead of celebrating the life that they had, what a person with abandonment issues would do would start talking about all the stuff. They'll go into these signs. They'll like start talking about all the stuff that they couldn't do with this person, that they didn't do with this person, that, you know, it becomes this like depressing remembrance, because you are experiencing loss, and loss feels like abandonment. So it's almost like you're blaming the dead person for your feeling of abandonment. So if you see people do that, that's a trigger. Another trigger, it could be on your job. If you lose a job, the loss of a job can be the trigger of abandonment issue. I put all my energy into that job, all my heart, mind, and soul. I stayed up all night long. I did overtime, and now they got rid of me. That will trigger an abandonment issue, the loss of a job. The loss of a friendship, a long-time friendship, or the loss of a relationship. You really see this clear in the loss of a relationship with someone. It triggers that feeling of abandonment. So the person with abandonment issues, this is the one thing that you need to understand. Now we're getting into how to heal. We're getting into how to heal from abandonment. Okay. So the one thing that a person with abandonment really does not believe is that important relationships are never damaged from time apart. Important relationships are never damaged by time apart. The person with abandonment issues do not believe this, because in their past, they have been damaged by time apart. So, usually in your childhood, like maybe before you're like 3, like around 3 or 4, is when that that stamp gets put into you that when my mommy leaves, my mommy is coming back. And at 3, if you experience that every time your mommy leaves, your mommy comes back, that's good. But at the age of 3, if you experience like when my mommy leaves, is we're playing a game of tag. I don't know when my mom coming back. Oh, my mom leaves me with all these different people at the age of 3. I don't know what my mom. I'm scared because I don't know. If you experience that around 3 or 4, that begins that abandonment thing. And now you have been feeling abandoned from the age of 3 to the age of 50. You 50 something years old and you still have symptoms of the abandonment of when you were 3. So that's what happens when people have abandonment issues is that it's unconscious and it's subconscious um fear of someone leaving you. So to beat that, you have to change your mindset about when someone leaves. If the relationship is important, time apart will not damage that relationship. And so the more relationships you have like that as an adult, the more you have friends. You may have friends you haven't seen in a long time. And then when y'all get together, it's like old times. That's good. You may have a spouse who travels a lot, but when y'all come back together, it's like it's a new relationship again. That's good. So the more you can put yourself into positive relationships, positive friendships, and when you see them after a long time, you get back together and the time is still special, that will help you. That will help you. So let's talk about how to heal. I have 7 signs, 7 what did I call them? 7 steps to healing. I have 7 steps to healing. Now I need somebody in the chat to make sure they put these 7 steps to healing. Now we're talking about healing. This is the most important part. So I have abandonment issues. Lakisha, I had like 10 of those things you just said. I have like all that whole list you just said, Lakisha, that's me. Okay, so how do I heal myself, Lakisha? Okay, that's what we're about to talk about right now. All right. So, what do you all think about this information? Let me know in the chat. Um. Oh, and before I go to healing, I just want to remind everybody: Success My Way Academy is starting. I am only opening it up. This is my last call for Success My Way Academy. If you are interested, if you want me to life coach you, if you want to figure out what your purpose is, if you want to get unstuck, if you want to stop being overwhelmed with your life, come over here. That's my expertise. I'm going to help you out with that. Okay. So make sure you contact me or go to successmywaycoaching.com and just sign up. Just sign up. The cost is $300. The anniversary cost, that regular cost is $500. So I took $200 off. You can also pay in installments. If you want to pay in installments, contact me directly. We can set up something together. Okay. All right. Number 1, this is 7 steps to healing. The first step to healing, thank you, Candace. The first step to healing, if you have abandonment issues, you ready? The first step to healing, and this is what I've done to heal myself, and it's been very effective, is to own the story. Number 1 is own the story. Y'all, when I tell you this is so hard, I'm going to give y'all these steps, but these steps not easy. For me to sit there and recall what happened to me and actually say that thing out loud, woo, y'all. That was so powerful right there. That was like everything. So I want you to do that. If you have abandonment issues, own the story and say it. I got left. ... I was abandoned. ... I was betrayed by ... Who betrayed you? Who made you feel like an orphan? Who left you? Say that thing out loud. Say it out loud. Most of us with abandonment issues, we try to bury it. See, this is the problem. The more you bury your story, the less likely you're gonna be healed. I'm just gonna keep it real. A lot of people didn't like Iyanla Van Zant. But what I liked about her is that she always made people own their story. That's the first step in healing. Hi, Trika. Welcome. That's the first step in healing, is to own your story, okay? And also, I just want to say this about owning your story. Don't attach negative conclusions to your story. Don't say like I got left by my mom, so I got left by my mom and it was all my fault. And I felt like it was my fault. Like, don't add that negative connotation to it. Just say I got left by my mom. Period. Because when you say I got left by my mom and um she left me alone and I got abused. Like, when you add all that to it, it makes your abandonment feel worse. It makes your so don't add those negative things. Just say I was I was betrayed by my aunt. I was betrayed by my aunt. Don't say I was betrayed by my aunt and she just made me feel like a bag of Don't do that. Don't do that. Because then you falling deep into another hole. Don't do that. Just acknowledge that, you know what? I think I have abandonment issues because I was betrayed by somebody that I thought really cared about me. Just say that. Just say that and own it. Some people can't even say it. All right, that's number one. All right, then number two, once you own your story, now you have to acknowledge the hurt and the pain. Now I tell you, whew, this is hard too, y'all. This is extremely hard. You have to acknowledge. What I want to say about this is that even when I life coach people, I notice that some people do not know how to express hurt and pain. I can't articulate it out my mouth, the hurt that I have. I've experienced grown people in their 60s and 70s who cannot articulate their hurt and pain. It's very serious. So if you can learn to acknowledge and express that hurt and pain and anguish and sit in it, it's okay for you to sit in it. Like, I'm so sick of people telling me I can't cry and I can't be sad. Why not? I mean, I'm not supposed to stay there, but if it's part of my healing process, leave me alone. Let me cry it out. Let me be sad. It's part of my healing process. So acknowledge the hurt and pain because it's part of the healing. So if you feel hurt and sad and you're grieving over a loss, do it. Don't say, I got to clean. Nope, I'm going out. I'm going to do something else. No, calm down. Sit there and cry. Say, oh my gosh, I feel so much anguish about losing this person. I feel anguish. I feel sick. I feel so sick. Say it. Say the thing that you feel. That's part of the healing. So own your story and then acknowledge your own hurt. That's the beginning of healing, y'all. That's the beginning of healing. And say the thing that you wish your life. When you acknowledge your hurt and pain, say the thing that you wish happened. Man, if I wasn't abandoned by my mom, I probably could be Beyonce right now. I probably could be Beyonce because Beyonce mom right there. I could have been Beyonce. No, I'm just saying. But yeah, just say it out loud. What were your plans for your life? And how did your plans for your life get effed up because somebody abandoned you? Come on, let's get real about this. How did my plans get effed up because that person abandoned me? And if they didn't abandon me, I could have been X, I could have been president of the United States. Say it. Just say it. It's part of your healing process. Now, you don't want to focus on it. You don't want to say it a million times, but it's part of your healing process to acknowledge, okay? And I know these sound simple, but these are really hard. Number 3, the third step into healing from abandonment is to find a healthy outlet. Number 3, find a healthy outlet. You know, I have abandonment issues, and I noticed as an adult that if I don't have an outlet where I can express myself and I can be creative, I'm no good. I'm no good to nobody. So if you have abandonment issues, find a healthy outlet. Do some art. Why do y'all think I love the planner community so much? Come on. Why does Lakisha love the planning community? It is a healthy outlet for me. And it helps me to ward off abandonment, especially when I'm triggered. Come on. Find a healthy outlet. I love planning my planners. What's your hobby? What's your outlet? What sport do you play? Do you exercise? Do you knit? Do you sew? Oh my gosh, y'all got to do something. Do something. Most of us go to work, come home, 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 go to work, come home. And that will trigger abandonment so fast. No creative outlet whatsoever will cause that abandonment to permeate and fester. Because what else you got your mind on? You're not doing anything else. So, even writing in a journal is an outlet. It's a way of you expressing yourself. Get a journal and just write your daily feel. I said, where's my I got this new daily planner, and part of the daily planner is write anything you want. I can't even show that what I write in that planner on my YouTube channel because I write some deep stuff in it. So find a journal to write in. And the last thing I want to say about this part, number 3, is also you need to structure yourself. This is what I teach you in Success My Way Academy. I teach you how to structure yourself. A lot of times we think we know what we're doing. We think we're managing our time right. Your life is not structured right. I can tell you. 100% of the people that I have coached could use the strategies I give them in structuring their life. 100%. We can always improve on structuring our lives. How are you structuring it? Are you just waking up not knowing what your day is about? Let me tell you something. I hardly ever wake up not knowing what my day is about. Even on the weekends, I know exactly what I'm doing every day, every weekend. My life is structured. It may not seem like that to outside people because to people outside of me, my life is chaotic. To me, I'm very calm because I have structure about what I do. Everything I do is intentional. But that's warding off what? My abandonment wound. I I don't have time to feel abandoned because I'm filling it up with things I love to do and I'm being creative. So I don't have a gaping abandonment wound. My wound is tiny. It just get triggered a little bit. But I've worked to create a life to close that wound. So what are you doing? What are you doing to work to create a life to close your abandonment wound? Trika says, I love writing. Marva said, I can attest to that fact. Thanks, Marva and Trika. Number 4. Number 4. You are not the problem. I love this. Number 4 is you are not the problem. You are not the problem. I'm going to say it again. You are not the problem. A lot of people, including myself, when I was going through my abandonment healing, I thought I was the problem. You are not the problem. You have to do the work to become a grounded person. Are you a grounded person in who you are and where you're going? If you are 100% positive about who you are and where you're going, put your stake in the ground right now. You are grounded. And if you are not 100% positive about who you are and where you're going, you still got work to do. Do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. Success My Way Academy is going to help you do the work so you can get grounded, so you will not blame yourself for stuff that you should not be blaming yourself for. Joan says, I still use Lakisha's nuggets from her class. Oh, yes. Joan took Success My Way Academy too. If you haven't taken a class, trust me, it's going to help you. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Marvin. Marvin said amen. Joan and Marvin both took the course. You want to get to know yourself on a deep level. Some of us know our spouses better than we know ourselves. Huh? Say what? Why you know your spouse better than you know yourself? We got to change that. Why you know your mama better than you know yourself? Come on. Why you know your mama better than you know yourself? Why you know your kids better than you know yourself? Do you know what your kids' purposes are? Then you should know yours. So do the work, get grounded, know yourself on that really deep molecular level. And your abandonment issues, they're just going to dissipate. Trigger says, your class got me right together and my life definitely has more structure. Yay! Yes. I love it. Okay, number 5, y'all. We're almost done because I said 7. We're on number 5 on the ways to heal. Number 5 is, I love number 5. Number 5 is get yourself a tribe. You're in a tribe. Success My Way is a tribe. And first of all, if you're not in our Facebook group, you gotta get in our Facebook group. Go down in the description and get in our Facebook group. That's where our tribe members live. We live in that Facebook group. I created a tribe on purpose. I did not call us a group. I did not call us a community. I called us a tribe because tribes in the ancient days took care of each other. You had the medicine person, you had the hunter gatherers, you had the cooks, and then everybody came together and celebrated harvest. That's what I look at us as, a tribe, a tribe, a tribe. But my question for you is, do you have a tribe? Where's your tribe? What your tribe look like? If you don't have a tribe, you got to get one. You got to get one. A tribe is a group of people who love on each other, enjoy each other, and hold each other accountable. I'm going to say that again. A tribe is a group who love on each other, enjoys each other, and holds each other accountable. And what I mean about hold each other accountable, if I see somebody going into a depressing abandonment stupor, I'm not just going to not say nothing. I'm going to be like, are you okay? That's what I mean about accountability. Like making sure everybody good. Accountability is make sure everybody in your tribe good. Speaking of that, I hope everybody's okay from the storm. I know there was a storm on the East Coast. It affected a lot of households. I have been praying for everybody on the East Coast. So I'm praying that everybody on the East Coast is safe from that hurricane. It's raining here. I'm on the East Coast, but I was not down south where it hit really hard. So it's just like drizzling here, like the wind's not even blowing at this point. But I hope everybody's safe who lives in Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. I hope you all are safe. Okay. So get yourself a tribe, because an abandoned person feels like they did not have a tribe or a pack or a safety community when they were little. That's how I felt. I felt like I did not, as an abandoned person, I felt like I did not have a safety circle around me, that I was vulnerable to anything. So that's how an abandoned person feels. You feel vulnerable to anything. But as an adult, you can create this circle of safety and create the people around you who are going to make you feel safe with them, who are going to make you feel positive. So if you're in a relationship with the opposite sex or same sex or whatever relationship you're in, and they're not making you feel safe, that's going to trigger all kinds of abandonment. But what if you're in a relationship with somebody who makes you feel safe? That helps you. My husband came into this relationship with me secure. He did not have abandonment issues. When I met my husband, his family was a strong, tactful family. And they've been that way since he was little. Marriages are strong. I mean, the family units are tight in my husband's family. So I've learned a lot. And I'm not saying his family perfect, they got issues too, but I've learned a lot about how to form, because I had no idea. I had no idea how to form that tribal type thing. And now I'm working really hard to do that with my kids and my husband, trying to form that tribalness. So my kids won't feel the abandonment. And I'm working on not being controlling, because I do have a tendency to sometimes to be controlling. So I'm working on not being controlling, because I do have that abandonment wound. So it is a constant management. You're not going to do this all these tips and then it's going to be gone. These tips help you manage, and it makes the gaping wound that you probably have now. If you do these things, that wound gets smaller and smaller and smaller, to the point you probably can't even hardly see the wound. So that's where I am. You can't see the wound. My wound was like this right now because I did the work, but I did the work first. Candace said, "Thank you, Lakisha. We had a lot of rain and wind." Oh, wow. Okay, Candace. Shut up, Trika. Trika, you're just bossy. I know, I'm sorry. I'm constantly working on that. Sorry, y'all. I am a bit bossy. Sorry. I think that's part of my personality anyway. Okay. Number 6. Look at me making this easy. Number 6. Be willing to ask for help. Y'all, ask for help. You cannot do this. I could never get over my abandonment issues alone. I had to seek help. And that doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you weak, because you need to ask for help with some mental and emotional turmoil. If you're human, you have wounds. Every human, 100% of humans have wounds. Surprise? Y'all, there's like a million wounds you can have. I'm only touching on 4. That's like 400. So every human has wounds. So it is okay if you need to seek help. It is totally fine. You can get with a life coach. You can get with a therapist. You can get with a counselor. Find somebody who can help you and strengthen yourself. It's going to be like one of the best things you've ever done for your life. And I want to add to number 6. Candace, can you add to number 6? Be willing to ask for help and stay present. Staying present helps me so much. I do not spend a lot of time in my past. Mental time. I do not spend a lot of mental time thinking about what happened to me. Maybe like 1% of my thought may be about what happened to me every 3 months or something. Like I don't ever think about what happened to me. I always think about the present, like right now, and I give 100% to the present. Like when I'm on here with y'all got 100% of my time. I lock my door so my little 7-year-old won't bust in here like he likes to do. And I'm 100% focused on you. When I'm at my job, even though I have side business, I'm focused 100% on my job. I have learned to be present, not all over the place. I'm talking to you, I'm answering the phone, I'm writing this down, I'm scrolling. How can you talk to me and scroll? No, put that phone down. So what you say again? Eye contact. Constructive is listening. I'm listening so I can really understand you with the intent of understanding. So you want to be present like that, and that takes work. You know, people have issues when they struggle with staying present. If you struggle with paying attention to what's happening to you right now, you got some issues. Hi, Kelly. Good morning. Okay, no problem, Kelly. Um, and number 7, which is the last way to heal from abandonment. Number 7. Okay, y'all. How can I put this? I want you to go on a journey to be reborn. I want you to go on a journey to be reborn. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you have abandonment issues, it feels like you cannot shake it. It's like a stronghold on you. It's like um it's like you create a lifestyle around your abandonment, right? So, if I'm trying to overcome abandonment, sometimes I can't feel that the wound is so big that I can't feel the wound up. So instead of doing that, mentally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that wound down and I'm going to be reborn, a new person over here with a new mindset, a new attitude, a new faith, a new life. And I'm going to rebirth myself into something great over here. And I'm going to lay that wound down, all the way down. And I'm going to become this thing over here that the wound is not there. I'm going to rebirth myself into something where I don't even have no wounds. Come on. Who says we can't do that? You ever hear somebody say they'd be reborn in Christ? That means everything you did in your past is gone. You're starting over like a newborn baby. It's the same concept. I want you to be reborn as a person, as an adult who has agency and control over your life. Rebirth yourself. And then you won't even have to contribute anything in your present and waking life to what happened to you in the past. Kelly, yes. And don't trust anyone else either. So need this. Oh, yes. Yes, Kelly. If you don't trust anybody, that is possibly a sign of abandonment. Yep. So I had the issue of abandonment. I went through the process of counseling to understand it and to heal it. And let me tell you something about healing. All of you who's trying to forget your hurt and trying to not see your hurt, that's not healing. Healing is confrontation. Healing is confrontation with your hurt. And then from the confrontation, doing the things you need to do to separate yourself from feeling those low feelings about the hurt. That's what healing is. So don't ignore your pain. Your pain is valid. Don't ignore your pain. Your pain is valid. Now that you have your pain, what are you going to do with your pain? Are you going to waddle in it? Are you going to allow your pain to sabotage your life? What are you going to do? Or are you going to turn that around and say, you know what? I'm going to rebirth myself. I'm reborn as a new person with a new life, with a new attitude, with a new understanding of who I am. That's how you heal. That's how you heal. Marva says, as Patti LaBelle sang, I'm in control. My worries are few because I got love like I never knew. I've got a new attitude. I got a new attitude. Oh, yes. Thank you, Marva, for that Patti LaBelle. And I hope Patti LaBelle's okay. Y'all see what Patti LaBelle threw up on stage? Y'all gotta see that. I mean, don't see that if you don't like throw up. But she threw up real bad on stage. But she came back and sang. She was fine. I'm just saying, Patti LaBelle, I need you to be well, honey. All right. Anyway, I digress. Thank y'all. So that is it. That's all I have for the abandonment wound. I hope that helped you. I hope what I told you strengthened you. And I hope if you have the means that you make the decision to join Success My Way Academy, which starts tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So you still have time. If you need a payment plan, call your girl. I work with ya. The cost is $300 for 6 entire weeks. And that's a deal because the course is $500. All right. So if you want to join Success My Way Academy, you can contact me directly. You can email me, or you can just go to successmywaycoaching.com and sign up. All right. So next week, let's talk about next week because we're still going to be dealing with wounds next week. Okay. Next week, we're going to be talking about the rejection wound. When you feel rejected, what are signs that you have a rejection wound and how to heal the wound of rejection? All right. Oh, thanks, Marva. Thanks, everyone. You know what I'm about to say. It's Self-Love Saturday. What y'all doing today? Share with me in the chat. What are you doing this Saturday? You know what? It's raining outside and I need to work on my paper. So I'm gonna stay in the house and work on my paper because I just need to. My girlfriend says she's supposed to call me and we're supposed to work on our papers together because I am trying to get my doctorate. So I'll work on my paper today. It's raining and my whole family's in the house, so we're just chilling today. Just chilling. But I hope you have a great Saturday. Make sure you do something for yourself. It's self-love Saturday. So you show love to everybody all week long. Today, show some love for yourself, okay? All right. Have fun today. Until next Saturday, I hope you are blessed. I hope you are strengthened by this message, and I hope you share it. Share it with other people. Click like, click share, click subscription, click all that stuff. Theodore Linda says, yes, it was life changing. Oh, God bless you, Theodore Linda. Thank you. All right, y'all. See you later. Bye, friends.